Imagine logging onto your favorite platform, only to realize that the content you're seeing and even the conversations you're having aren't entirely organic. Artificial intelligence isn't just changing the internet, it's controlling it. Not just what you see, but what you say. What stays up, what gets taken down, and what you're allowed to believe. AI-driven moderation is shaping online discussions in ways most people don't even realize. And the scariest part? Most people don't even know how to protect themselves. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable steps to safeguard your online presence, including using private browsers, clearing your search history regularly, archiving or restarting social media pages to break free from algorithmic bubbles, and even adjusting the way you interact with online platforms to reclaim control over what you see and share. Is this the future of free speech or the start of something much more dangerous? Let's break it down. AI moderation: who decides what you can say? AI has taken over content moderation. Social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter, use artificial intelligence to scan, flag, and remove posts before a human even sees them. At first, this sounds like a good idea. AI can detect hate speech, misinformation, and harmful content faster than any human moderator. But the real question is, who decides what's acceptable and what's not? These systems are trained on biased data, influenced by corporate interests, and often make mistakes that lean in one direction more than the other. During elections and public health crises, AI moderators aggressively flagged content questioning official narratives. Some of those flagged discussions were later proven to be valid, but by then the original posts had been erased. If AI can be programmed to moderate based on shifting information, how many valuable discussions are being deleted simply because they challenge the status quo? AI's invisible influence on public discussion. The AI doesn't just moderate conversations, it actively predicts and shapes them. It determines what appears in your feed, what gets boosted, and what disappears without a trace. Platforms favor posts that align with approved narratives while suppressing alternative viewpoints. This isn't speculation, it's been documented across multiple platforms. A 2021 MIT study found that AI fact-checking disproportionately labeled independent news as unreliable, even when their reporting matched mainstream sources. During the pandemic, AI moderation erased millions of posts about alternative treatments, government policies, and medical debates. A doctor discussing new research could be flagged the same way as someone spreading actual misinformation. Shadowbanning takes it even further. Instead of outright banning users, platforms reduce a post's visibility. It still exists, but it won't show up in search results, recommendations, or timelines. If your engagement drops suddenly with no explanation, it might not be a coincidence. It might be AI deciding your voice shouldn't be heard. How AI preemptively controls thought. AI's influence goes beyond moderation. It predicts what you might say before you even say it. Platforms scan the tone of posts, assigning sentiment scores that determine whether your content gets promoted or buried. Content labeled negative or controversial often gets downranked, even if it's based on facts. AI doesn't understand context. It only recognizes patterns, meaning critical discussions can be throttled while neutral or overly positive content is boosted. AI-driven censorship can even flag certain words and phrases before a post gains traction. In some cases, it removes content preemptively, blocking conversations before they happen. Automated fact-checking further complicates this, as AI relies on pre-approved sources that don't always reflect emerging truths. When new evidence contradicts AI-approved narratives, the damage is already done. Alternative viewpoints have already been erased. Who controls AI? Who really decides what AI considers acceptable speech? Is it tech giants, political interests, or both? Big tech companies like Google, Meta, and Microsoft have direct partnerships with government agencies and nonprofits to combat misinformation. While this can help prevent actual harm, it also means AI moderation policies are shaped by organizations with their own interests. AI training data sets come from third-party groups that often have political and financial biases, yet their influence on online speech is rarely questioned. There's almost no transparency in how AI makes decisions. Unlike human moderators, AI cannot be held accountable when it removes content unfairly. And when people try to challenge these decisions, they're met with vague explanations or automated responses that don't address the issue. How to protect yourself from AI moderation? If AI is controlling the flow of information, how can you take back control of your digital presence? First, diversify your platforms. Don't rely on a single social media site for information. Use a mix of platforms, including decentralized or independent ones like Ground News that aren't subject to strict AI moderation. Use private browsers like Brave and DuckDuckGo, and clear your search history regularly to prevent algorithmic profiling that limits the content you see. Archive or restart your social media pages. Over time, platforms trap users in content bubbles. Archiving old accounts and starting fresh can reset your feed, exposing you to new perspectives outside of your previous echo chamber. Consider encrypted messaging apps like Signal or Telegram for discussions you don't want AI scanning and flagging. Engage with alternative news sources. Look beyond algorithm-driven feeds, read from multiple perspectives, and fact-check independently. Adjust your social media algorithms. Engage with content you want to see more of and mute or block what doesn't align with your interests. This helps train your personal feed to be more balanced and less manipulated. Be mindful of keywords and phrasing. Certain words and phrases trigger AI censorship. Rewording controversial topics or using alternative phrasing can help posts avoid suppression. Stay informed and speak out. The more people understand AI moderation, the harder it becomes for companies to quietly control narratives. Support transparency efforts and push for accountability in tech policy. This isn't just about politics, it's about control. The internet was supposed to be a space for free expression, but AI moderation is shifting that reality. It decides who gets heard and who gets buried in the algorithm. So what do you think? Have you noticed AI moderation affecting what you see online? Have you experienced censorship firsthand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into how AI is shaping the world we live in, hit that subscribe button. Stay aware, stay in control, and always stay perceptive.